Okay, with Art Fox, winning screenwriter, the bodybuilder. Obviously, it's a nice play on words. Fantasy sci-fi festival. What a great idea for like, because they're doing this, right? This super wealth. I'm just giving like my version of the film. It's like a super wealthy tech bro transplant. He's trying to make the perfect body, the perfect woman, right?
Right.
And
Hmm.
so so basically, of course, he's super wealthy and he doesn't really know girls very well. So he tries to make the perfect woman, and then it becomes his worst nightmare.
Yep.
Love it, love it, love it. Because they're doing this now, right? Elon Musk is somewhere trying to create a woman, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I mean, the
Yeah,
all the technology that I talk about, like the nanites, the microscopic robots, for example,
yeah,
AI controlled, all of that currently exists. None of it is made up.
yeah.
Whether it's been applied in the way that my protagonist uh, is applying it, yeah,
Sure.
I don't know, but I'm sure people are working on that. I mean, if you think about the positive side of it, if we could reattach limbs, if we could
Yeah.
uh, regrow organs, that would be spectacular.
Well, we're doing it right. Like I think that AI is scary to a lot of people, but from a medical standpoint, it's going to do wonders, right? It's
Yeah,
already has, right? So
yeah, hmm,
because I know people who are doing surgeries in California that with robot surgery, right? There's no humans anymore doing their surgeries.
oh
So
yeah, robotic surgery is very common now in certain areas.
yeah,
Um, Prostate cancer, for example, is
yeah,
an area. Heart surgery is another. Um, yeah, robotic surgery is becoming much more common, and it's actually much better surgery in certain cases.
yeah.
Uh,
But it's going to be perfect because there's no human error, right? So
exactly right. It can
yeah.
be pre-programmed. It's no robot's hands ever shake because they had too much coffee in the morning.
So I've learned that people, especially men, are having AI girlfriends, right? But this is
Ah,
going to take it to the next level where they're he's making it trying to make it physical, right?
yep.
Like a physical human female, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. There's been a number of movies that explore that idea. Uh, there was one with Joaquin Phoenix. I'm forgetting the name.
her
Her, yeah.
that
And
was
that,
way ahead of its time, way ahead of
yeah,
its
way
time.
ahead of its time, but
Yeah,
it predicted very accurately what's going on.
yeah, and yeah, that's what's happening. But they kind of sentimentalized the male character in that movie, where like he's kind of a lonely, nice guy, right?
Right. Yep.
I have a feeling a lot of them are not. Maybe they're definitely lonely, but perhaps they're scared and narcissistic and etc. Right? So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's one of the things that I find really interesting about her is, we think of AI, we tend to think of AI, at least the way a lot of uh, the way a lot of sci-fi approaches the idea of AI substitutes of robots, that kind of thing, it says sex bots. But with her, he was just lonely. He
yeah,
wanted a woman to listen to him
yeah.
and to see him as he was. And I think at the heart of it, every human wants that. We
Yes.
all want to be seen as an individual and valued as an individual. And I think you're right. That's another reason that that particular movie was so far ahead of its time, because it wasn't just a like cheap sexploitation thing. It really went into the heart of what humans actually want.
Yeah, but at the same time, we need to fight our fears and talk to girls. I'm talking about men, and
Yeah.
and then in the end, spoiler alert, but like in the end, I'm not giving away the total movie, but in the end, we're like you want a one-on-one relationship, right? Where like
Yeah.
he learns that this AI or this person has thousands of relationships with lonely men, right?
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
about him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you remember the interaction at the beginning of the script with his mother and his father, uh, where his mother is basically killed by his father in a drunken rage,
yeah,
that's the point at which he decides that he wants to make all women, safe as he possibly can.
yeah,
And the irony is that he kills women to make them safe.
Yeah.
So it shows kind of how his brain gets twisted around by his anger and his fear.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he has the good of women in mind. His strategy for doing it is just terrible.
Yeah, we're misguided. That's human. That's been the human condition for thousands of years, right?
Hmm.
There's an idealistic kind of like dream, but
Right.
we were all, because we're flawed and we're human and we have egos and we have insecurities.
Yeah. Yeah.
We spoil our misguided. We everything becomes misguided in the long run, I guess.
Yeah. He was very misguided.
And that's my fear of AI, right? We're like, because humans are still in control they're still pressing the button, and capitalism is becoming the main factor. It's not. This is not an altruistic event. This is about making money for people, right?
Sure. Yeah. Making money always drives the biggest innovations.
It does, but at the same time, it becomes false because people are driven by money, not driven about by the best thing they can produce, right? So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. There's always that balance.
yeah, that's the part. So your script is right, like it's right in the realms of what people are thinking about. So when did you come up with this idea for this script yourself?
I was thinking about that, and I started it more than a decade ago, and then put it aside for a long time, and then went back to it, put it aside. I think the version that I submitted to the film fest was the 30-second rewrite, I think, and I honestly don't remember where the idea came from.
A 30-second rewrite, so you just
Yeah.
kind of like took it out of the dusted it off and send it out.
No, I after I decided to start entering contests,
Okay.
I think I did 12 more rewrites before I started entering.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been lucky enough that I've been a professional actor all my life. And so I know a lot of people in the film industry. And I was lucky enough to know some successful screenwriters and TV script writers. And they gave me extraordinarily valuable advice on how to improve it. And I look back at the earlier versions that I thought were really good, and I realized they were really bad. The main concept was good, but the execution of the concept was not nearly as good as it is now. So I owe an awful lot to those people who helped me, who were willing to give me honest feedback about it and say, this really works, this really sucks. You really need to lengthen this part, expand this relationship, show us more about this character, that kind of thing.
So
But
would you want to act in this film?
would I would?
Would you want to act in this film?
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to be the hot dog vendor.
Okay.
He has almost no lines. There's really no part for me in it
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? But
other
yeah.
than the hot dog guy. Yeah, everybody else is much younger than I am, but uh, I would. Yeah, it'd be fun to be the hot dog guy.
But you're just when did you get into, like, so you've been acting your whole life. When did you get into writing scripts?
Well, I transitioned into writing for industrial scripts, like training films and that kind of thing, probably 40 years ago, because I wasn't getting as much acting work as I wanted. And uh, I was at that time doing a lot of I was performing as an actor in industrial films, and the scripts were,
Gotcha.
the half the scripts were absolutely terrible. And I thought, Jesus, I can do
Sure.
this. So I started writing scripts for trade show presentations, and I started writing scripts for uh, wide variety of clients, and that just sort of took off. And so I learned how to focus on a topic very quickly. Like a lot of the scripts I wrote for, especially for trade shows, they had to be 3 minutes long, no more than 3 minutes long, but they had to really tell a fast story. And if you ask any novelist, they'll always say writing a short story is way harder than writing a novel because you have to eliminate so much stuff and really figure out what the story is actually about and just include that. And so as a result, I learned how to really focus on an idea and get that focus clear in my mind. What am I trying to say? What reaction do I want to get from the reader or from the viewer? And then how do I create that reaction as quickly as possible? And that really helped me when I started writing. When I started writing movies, I'm also a playwright, so I've written a number of plays, both short plays and long version plays. And the idea of storytelling is always the same. It's just with movies, you're thinking much more visually. With plays, you can get away with having your characters talk a lot more. And I like to write. I really like writing dialogue, and that was one of the first problems I haven't had in my first pass-throughs with the screenplay. Is it was all the characters just going blah 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 blah, and everybody I talked to who was experienced with screenwriting said, no, you
Yeah.
gotta cut that by 80 or 90% and have them do stuff instead of say stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Like show, don't tell, I guess. Right. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I once heard that Sylvester Stallone. Uh, he once said his ideal movie script would have no dialogue at all. It'd
Yeah.
all be, just the characters would just do stuff throughout the entire movie, never say a thing.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of them do it that way. Like that's how they start their scripts, right? They
Yeah,
just, yeah, they scrap all they, and basically there's like a, if it was like Scorsese said that, which is funny, ironic enough because he has a lot of dialogue in his movies, but you should be able to watch the scene with the sound off and know what's going
exactly.
on, right?
You should be able to. Yeah, and
Yeah.
follow what's happening, and especially understand the emotional nuance because
Yeah.
that's what audiences want. They want to identify with one or the other of the characters, and then they want to experience the emotions of those characters. And you don't have to say anything for people to be able to do that.
Yeah. So that's, but then at the same time you write play, but you got into playwriting too, right? Which is very much about the dialogue and the text and kind of getting it out there,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Different medium, right?
Yeah, I like both of them.
Yeah.
I like both of them very much. A lot of the people I know are stage actors. And so I've been to a lot of plays. I've read a lot of scripts for plays. And it's funny, I'm a terrible script reader. I can read a play and I'll think, geez, there's nothing going on here. This is so boring. And then I'll see somebody who knows what they're doing put it on and it's electrifying. And I think, why didn't I see that when I read that script? But, so much of it is, well, I got to say, this is one of the things that I find most difficult about writing a screenplay is getting other people to read it where I really want people to read my script and who might be interested in buying it,
Yeah.
to have an actor read it. Because I write from an actor standpoint and I say to myself, okay, if I were playing this character,
Yeah.
for example, if I was playing Brandon, the protagonist or antagonist rather in this, would I want to be this person? Would I want to have the feelings he's having? Would I want to say the words I'm asking him to say? Would
Yeah.
I want to take the actions? And would those actions make sense to me as that character? And if they do, then I think, okay, I'm probably on the right track here. If they don't, if I look at it from an actor's standpoint and say, geez, I really wouldn't want to play this character. He's not interesting or he's just stupid or, something like that. And I know from writing plays that one of the biggest issues with getting people to buy a play or produce a play or produce a screenplay for that matter is having people read it who are not, I guess you don't have to be an actor to be able to read a script well, but you have to understand what it's like to be an actor, what
Yeah.
it's like to become the person that is portrayed on the page.
Yeah.
And of course, in a screenplay, you can have a person say one line and then take 2 pages worth of action, and you have a much better understanding of who that person is by the action they take rather than the words they say.
Yeah. It's an interesting perspective of a writer because like I'm being general when I say this, but there's like plot, theme, and character, right? So a lot of people I can see even with readers and stuff like that, as you like most people are looking at the plotting or they're looking at the macro, like the grand thematic, like how everything intertwines.
Mm-hmm.
And and then but that's what they're leading with, I guess, when they're watching it, well, when they're reading it, and you're like all about like the character, right? It's like it's got to be, even if it's a great plotted script, it still has to be the characters, like that's the emotion, that's where the audience kind of responds to, I guess, right? So
Yeah, exactly right.
yeah,
One of the things that I learned early on in my screenwriting training, and that I learned a long time ago as an actor, is when you're given a scene to read, um, the first thing you ask yourself is, what do I as a character want
yeah,
as a result of this interaction?
yeah,
Even if it's only a 30-second interaction. And if a scene is well written, everybody wants something and they want it really badly.
yeah,
But the things they want are in opposition.
yeah.
So
But
the
that said, a lot of times the scene is about the one character, right? It's serving the
yeah,
one character story, right?
yeah, you don't want that. You want it to be a two character or three
Right.
character.
No, no, yeah. I can, well, I can, there's myriad examples of where you're watching a scene. It's like, it's about that character. It's serving that character's arc, I guess. Right. But
Well, yeah, I think I see what you mean.
yeah,
Um, but I think every well-written scene in every movie or every play, um, you may have the main person, like in my screenplay, the protagonist is Lizzie, the
yeah,
antagonist is Brandon, and whenever they have a scene together, they want extremely opposite things. Uh,
yeah,
and or Brandon with any of the other characters that he interacts with. And um, when they have those interactions, like especially in some of the scenes between Lizzie and Brandon, you may be rooting for Lizzie because she's the
yeah,
good guy, but Brandon wants what he wants just as much as what she wants. So even though you may be rooting for one character over the other,
yeah,
from an actor standpoint, if I was playing Brandon, I would be, in my mind, totally justified in doing the things that I want to do,
yeah,
and I would want to do them every bit as much as what Lizzie wants to do in opposition to me. So I think it may be kind of easy to uh,
sure,
confuse the idea of identifying with one character or wanting one character to be successful and the other one to fail. But
yeah,
from an actor's standpoint, both characters have to want equally. Otherwise, the scene sort of it can lose momentum. Oh, you froze again.
yeah.
There
He's
you
unstable.
go. Yeah.
Quite
Where are
unstable.
you calling from?
I'm in Toronto. Where are you? Where are you?
Oh, I'm in Chicago.
Chicago. I love Chicago. So yeah, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I find it interesting that you write specifically in horror and sci-fi, which is very plot driven, right? Those are very, like, generally speaking, very plot driven
As
kind of.
opposed to character driven, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
So
Yeah,
I find that fascinating. You're like a contradiction in a lot of ways. I love it. So
uh, contradiction in.
in terms of like people who write, usually when someone writes like very character driven scripts, it's very like comedic or dramatic, right?
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
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 the movie that immediately came to mind for me was Bridges of Madison County, for example.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Uh, I mean, that's a totally character-driven script. Hardly
yeah,
anything happens in it, and it's all them just talking to each other and being very emotional.
yeah,
But yeah, I've always loved, from the time I was a little kid. I've loved science fiction. I've loved horror stories. I remember one of the first books I ever got as a little kid was about that thick,
yeah,
and the name of it was Tales of Terror and the Supernatural.
yeah,
I have no idea why I loved that stuff, but I did. I still remember stories from it.
yeah.
So
So yeah,
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say it's amazing that like it said also the blog interview that you've written like hundreds of scripts, like you've written hundreds of stories.
Hmm.
Wow. And you want to get is this the one you want to get produced? Like if you would pick all of them, would this be the script?
This is the one that's at the front of the pack. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's timely. It's like it'll be timely for the next couple of years too, right? So
Well, and yeah, I hope so. I mean,
yeah,
I think that the science of it, the nanites,
yeah,
um, the ability of him to do with the nanites what he does,
yeah,
that I think is probably not available yet, but I'm sure somebody's working on it, like you mentioned.
100%.
And there's so much money in being able to rejuvenate people, that if somebody comes up with some sort of tech that allows medical science to do what my antagonist is able to do,
Yeah,
geez, that'll be the next Viagra times 1,000.
yeah. Like it's like Frankenstein all over again, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, there is a Frankensteinian element
yeah,
to
100%. That's the whole thing.
uh,
It's timeless. It's got a timeless quality to it. Where like because we've been thinking like this as humans, like it's a tinge of narcissism, right? We're like
yeah,
that
oh,
power,
totally.
godlike, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I enjoyed about writing it is,
Yeah,
this is a period, especially when I was polishing it, when Elon Musk was running Doge
yeah.
and Jeff Bezos is launching dildo-shaped rockets into space. And I thought,
Oh,
you
is
know,
that what you saw? Okay, yeah,
yeah, I look at Bezos,
yeah.
and he's got enough money. He carries around enough money in his wallet that he could pay for free healthcare for all
I know
10,000 humans
that's
on
the
the
sad
slate.
part thing about it, right?
And
Yeah,
and he I don't know if you knew this. Had two yachts built.
yeah,
One yacht for him to yacht around in, and the other yacht to carry his extra crew in his helicopter.
yeah.
And the two, cruise around together. What kind of hubris does that take?
Well,
In my,
they've been this humans been doing this for forever, right? With kings and queens back in the day, right?
oh
So
yeah,
it's like just the
yeah,
tech people are just the new kings and queens, right?
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
Um,
but I got an idea for you because that's the irony of your script is that the people you should go to fund it are the tech people.
that would be great if,
Yeah, because
yeah,
they got the money and it's like it's their script, right? It's their idea,
yeah,
and
but
they all don't think they're like that, but they are.
it's not
That's the
very
irony.
flattering to
No,
them.
but that's the whole. That's the art of the sell. Is that they don't think they're like that, but they think other people are like
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
that.
Yeah, I'm not on first name basis with Jeff Bezos, but I'll say
No,
we
I'm
kind
talking
of.
about like the kind of like the mid-level 100 millionaires, not the billionaires, right?
Yeah, really. Well,
Yeah,
this is, to go back to your other question earlier, another reason I decided to do this particular script is because horror is a timeless
yeah,
genre. It never goes out of fashion.
yeah,
And I've done some research into where horror is most popular. And one of the advantages, I think, of this particular script is that it would translate really well to foreign countries.
100%.
So it'd be really popular. And I know that horror movies are really popular in Asia, especially Japan and South Korea. They're really popular in South America. They're really popular in Australia. And so this script would be great for an international audience. And also because it's, well, there's two other things that go with it. I think it would make a great um, graphic novel.
Yeah,
And I think it can also be seen in one of two ways. It could either be seen as a quick and dirty horror movie that you make for $12 million and
mhm,
then, just go directly to streaming and just double your money in a couple of years.
yeah,
Or it could be seen as a higher end Marvel level production with A-list actors
mhm.
that would be a superhero origination story because Lizzie is a superhero unlike any other that I've ever seen. So it could go either way.
You're thinking, yeah, because well, the way I read it is that it's like $100 million film, right? Like
It could be.
that's how it was read on the page for me. But like you
Yeah.
said, but you're 100% right. It could be like that kind of like bare bones kind of like story, but it still resonates, right? So yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you get somebody like Zendaya and pay her $12 million to be Lizzie. and
Yeah.
and
That's what you're thinking, right? To do it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you can also get, you can get a 20-something actress who
Yeah.
has a little experience, but will do the job for $100,000, and
Yeah.
it can go either way, depending
I-
on the producer and how they want to,
Yeah.
what their vision is for it.
Yeah. Well, Art, I appreciate your time. Great, like I said, great script. Not only is it good, well written, but it's very timely as well. So,
Thank you.
anything that we could do to help out anyway, because I think it's fantastic. So, I appreciate your time,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
let's talk. Let's talk soon when it gets sold, or when we showcase another script of yours.
Well, thanks. Yeah, let's hope that this helps somebody go, gee, I got to have that script.
100%. All right, man. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Matthew.